So just go to teachable machine. Perfect, perfect. So सबने open किया? Yes, no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. So now this is one of the online platform that help us to create a deep learning model without writing a single code. Okay, so that is a wonderful resource to explain machine learning, deep learning, any decision making, AI based system to any students also. Even a kid can understand what is exactly a machine learning is now. So as you see in these snippets, so just see here, these are sorter that classify you marshmallow hai, not marshmallow hai. Me, yeah, me with dog, metal or non-metal. The pose is tree or wings. Okay, sound is of clap or snap. Okay, so again, object sorting system is there. So class, this is a wonderful resource to start with, and you can develop your own, and no expertise is required, and you can develop your own model also. Now, I request all of you kindly, after the session, just it is a 3-4 minute video, kindly go through that video, and that will explain you in more detail about teachable machine. Okay, so everyone open this website. Yes, no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. So let's click on this button, get started. Now, before moving forward, number one, so we can train a computer to recognize your own image, pose, or sound. So these are the three types of model we can create using these teachable machine. And best part is that no expertise or coding is required. Okay, there is no need to learn the TensorFlow or any other advanced libraries. So just click on get started. So I am just switching off my camera because I need a camera here. So stop. Yes. So class, we can create three types of projects here. Number one, image-based project. Next is audio-based project, and third is pose-based project. Okay. So now just click on image project. Yes, please. मेरे साथ practice करिए, start करिए. Just click on image. So there are two options. Number one, standard image. Just click on standard image. Class, yes, no?
Yes,
Good
sir.
image.
Done, done, done.
Yes, yes, sir. We are with you.
Oh, perfect, perfect, perfect. Nice, nice. So now, class, I am just going to build a system that classify. Let's suppose, just let me know. Yes. That classify it's me or my mobile. Okay. So now just do one thing. In class, just edit and write down some name. Let's suppose my name is PS Rana. Just do one thing, everyone, please. Just edit the name and write one object name. Let's suppose I give the name myself, Prashant Singh Rana. And just you need to move your head left, right, up, down, but hold the record, hold to record. So just see here, I am holding the button and moving my head up and down. So just collect nearly 100 images. It's automatically click your images and paste it here. Yes, done.
Yes, sir.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. Now close this. So now we are collecting the object of collecting the images of first object. Now let's suppose I'm giving some another object. Let's suppose if you are sitting with some friend, so you can use that friend also. Okay, so let's suppose I give my mobile. Okay. Now just what I am exactly doing, just put the image here and hold to record and just take a mobile up and down up to 100 images. Done. यार yes no भी बोल दो please.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Wow, very good, very good. Chaliye. So now class, I am going to build a system that classify कि this is PS Rana or mobile phone. Okay. Now just click on the train model, and before moving forward, advance. So class, in last 4 days, I hope everybody learned about neural networks. What are the different parameters? So if you want to change these parameters, let's suppose epoch, you can increase, batch size you can increase, learning rate you can increase. But for the time being, we are not, we are just running on default parameters. So just click on train model. So this platform is provided by the Google itself. If you just see in the URL, you will find with google.com. Okay. So now it will hardly take less than 1 minute. The model will be trained in the backend. Okay. Now training is done. Now just see the output. Just let me stop my input webcam. Okay. Yes. Now just see. Now it's showing perfectly psghana.com. Okay, sorry, psghana. Now, if I am able to show the mobile phone, so it will show you that this is a mobile. Okay. Again, if I am showing myself, then it is against predicting कि हाँ ये psghana है. Class, everyone done? Yes, no?
No, sir. It is taking time still.
It is training time, na? It is building the model.
Yes, sir, it is.
Yeah.
No issues. It will take hardly less than 1 minute. Plus, those who have done, now they can understand that without writing a single code, we are able to build a system that classify two objects, कि वो PS का आना है या mobile phone. Agree? Yes, no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But there is a disadvantage. Number one, if I am showing different object, if I am showing any other object, okay, now it will classify only कि PS का आना है या mobile है, because output is only two classes. So either PS का आना है mobile, चाहे मैं कोई सा भी इसको, if I am showing any object, okay. So can anyone suggest, let's suppose if any other object will come, then it will show others, unknown. Okay. Now for this, we need to make another class. Let's suppose add another class, and I am giving unknown. Now, anyone suggest कि यहाँ पे मुझे क्या input देना चाहिए? What input should I give here? Yes, no? Any suggestion?
Blank page maybe.
No. Blank cannot be there. There must be something. Some images must be there. Okay. So now, class. Similarly, you can add multiple classes. Let's suppose you want to build a system that classify 4 objects, 5 objects. So just add, and add. Okay. So I hope in the last 4 days, someone give you a glimpse about cat and dog classification project. Okay. I hope you know the cat and dog classification. So there are two types of images. In the one folder, all the cats are there. In another folder, dogs are there. And just also you can upload the images. Okay, class. So let's suppose you have a data set and you want to build a model. Okay, so in that case, there is no need to take the webcam and push the button that will take your images, and you can directly upload. So let's suppose one is dog, so upload all the dog images. Second is cat, so just upload the cat images. So build a model that will classify कि कोई भी नया image आएगा, it will classify कि वो cat है या dog है. Okay, now I'm talking about कि let's suppose I build a system. Okay. Before moving forward, can anyone tell me कि what is the application? How exactly this system can be used? What are the different areas we can use this system? Class, yes, no? Okay, no issues. Let's suppose I want an entry exit system for my home. Okay, so let's suppose there are 4 family members. So just take the 100 images of all the four members and just train the model, and then you can also export it. Okay, so class export means, let's suppose if I am clicking on export, you can download the model. Okay, just copy and download. All the trained model is stored here, so you can use this model as in the deployment. Just make some small program, or you can also create a web app. Okay, let's suppose mobile app can be there, so you can also use as download the models. So there are multiple ways. TensorFlow Lite. So हम इसको use करके we can use this model in our application. Class, yes, no? Okay. Now, next,
Yes.
I'm talking about how to add an unknown. Okay, unknown में क्या डालना है अपने को? That is a challenging one. So just go to Google and write face. Just go to Google and write face. Okay, now just go to images. Where is images? Yes, images. Facebook face, या फिर human face. Okay, done. So class, now in the class 3, I am talking about class 3. So just download 50, 20, 30 photos of different humans. Okay, download any 30, 40 images and just upload here. So the thing is that in the third class, that will not able to build a model for that class, because if I'm giving the images for the first class, and it is 100 images, so model exactly learned if these are the images of class 1 and PS Rana. Similarly, we give the 100 images of class 2 and mobile phone, it can easily understand ki kya hai. But in the last class, I am providing a multiple images, so it can get confused. So in that case, if I am building that model, that can easily classify कि PS Rana hai या mobile hai. But if I am giving another object or any other, I am showing another face, so it can or directly put in the unknown category. Class, yes, no? Are you getting something?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Perfect. So for the timing after the class, after the session will over, or any other, when you get the time to try these things. Yes, no?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Perfect, perfect. Now, for exporting the model, let's suppose you want to build your own application. Application means website banani hai aapko, ya fir mobile app banani hai. So kindly go to Google and learn these things. These are the very simple things, how to deploy a teachable machine learning model. Okay. So this is a very small, quick project that you can explore. Now let's come back again. Similarly, multiple types of projects can be you can build over here, like grain classification. Let's suppose you want to build a system that will recognize the grain. Let's suppose there are 4 categories of grain, means wheat. Category A, category B, and category C. Class, just see here. So let's suppose there are 4 categories of wheat, and I'm giving you an assignment to build a system that will classify ki category A, B, C, D. So 4 categories of wheats are there. So you can build a system that will recognize a sample of images of wheat, and then can easily classify ki kaun si category ka wheat hai wo. Similarly, grain classification project are also there. Let's suppose you build a system that will recognize it is a wheat, it is a rice, it is a maize or dal or any other cereal is there. Okay, so these are the small projects that you can also build using this teachable machine. The only one thing is required, you need a separate images in the different folders. Okay, now similarly, you can build audio project. So let's suppose I want to classify it is a voice of a male or a female. So similarly, you can build audio projects also. Okay, so these are the very simple things. Just you have the data and just try yourself. Similarly, pose. Abhi last week apna International Yoga Day yoga tha, and I hope everybody did the yoga on the bed. At least shavasana to kiya hi hoga aap sabhi ne. Yes, no?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Perfect, perfect. तो ना अब आपने जो सवाशन किया था, we want to know कि हाँ आपने सही से किया है नहीं किया है. So to recognize that pose, so we can build using these poses. Okay. As in the earlier session, teachable machine in the very first part, pose project is there. So that is a pose for tree or a wings. So class, this is a very wonderful resource. You can build your system if you're not expert in TensorFlow library or anything library, but data dale and just build your model. Okay, you can also give this assignment to your students. कि ना model अपना आ गया है ना, build a website or build a mobile app. Okay, so these are the projects that you can assign to your students for the mini project or a major project. So I hope everybody enjoyed this session. Yes, no?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Oh,
sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
perfect.
sir.
Very, very good, very good, very,
Yes, sir.
very good. Shabash. चलिए, let's move forward. So class, this is all about the teachable machine. ठीक है? तो ये
Excuse me,
session.
sir. I have a
Yes,
question.
yes,
So
ma'am.
can we make a model based on multiple types of input like image, audio, video with teachable machine?
नहीं नहीं बना सकते हो, but उसका क्या यूज क्या है?
Sir,
उसका
sir, suppose in medical science we want to get the inputs from we want different types of input to get in our model. So it's not always the images. So can we make a model like this with teachable machine?
Perfect, perfect. Very, very good question, ma'am. In this case, you need to build a multiple models. Okay. Let's suppose you have images. You have images. That is the image of cancer or a non-cancer. Okay. Again, some voice or audio is associated. Build different model. Okay. And if you want some text, then build different model. So that is known as multi-model problems. Okay. So yani ki means you have you have different inputs. So for every input, you need to build different models. So let's suppose for images, I build an image model. For audio, I build an audio model, and for text, I build a text model. Take the input from both the models, all the three models. Then in the end, just decide what should be the output, what is the output, and then analyze. Now we are doing one project where we are multi-model model is there. So we are recognizing the face using iris and ear position. That's just this is very important. What is multi-model? So we are building a classification without iris नहीं है अपने पास, eye की position and ear की position. So for this, we need to build a system, two models. Means we have the images of eyes, position of eyes, and the position of ear. Okay. So in that case, we are building two models. So for eye model, I am giving the input of eye, and for ear, I am giving the input of ears. If any one model failed to recognize, then authentication failed. Are you getting yes, no?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because we cannot merge all the data into a single model, but we need to build different models. Okay, so let's suppose we are building a model for, let's suppose you are talking about you have images of data of images also, audio also. So build different models, okay, and then if a new input will come, predict from these models, and end of the day just analyze what should be the outcome. So yes, yeah, no. Yes, no?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Means
Okay,
we
perfect.
have to make some models and we have to check the output of all the models in the end.
Yes. And that is known as multi-model.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Chali, let's move forward. So class, this is all about teachable machine. Now, many of you struggle with the data set. Ki data set kahan se lena hai? Okay. So now just go to my homepage, psrana.com. Class, just open it. And in the right hand side, you just click on point number 8, data set for ML. In the right hand side, just click on point number 8, machine learning, data set for machine learning. Yes, no, open किया आपने? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Now
Yes.
it will redirect you to my GitHub page where I listed all the major websites through which you can get the data set. Okay. Now very first is Google's dataset search. Now kya kariye? Right click, open in a new tab. Otherwise, if you click on this link, then it will open in the same page. So just right click and open in a new tab. So now Google created a separate search engine for dataset. So let's suppose I am searching for COVID images. Okay. So in the left hand side, you will get the sources. Okay. Multiple locations are there. And in the right hand side, these are some description of the dataset. So some datasets are freely available. Just right click and download. But few are required some permissions. Then you need to take action accordingly. You need to request to the author. Then he or she can provide you the dataset. Yes. So this is a wonderful resource where you can find a different data sets of for your research. Second, I'm skipping second, third one, Kaggle dataset. So I hope everybody know Kaggle. So just right click, open in a new tab. You can explore IBM also. So this is one of the largest dataset repository. So Kaggle is backed by Google. And I hope everybody know Kaggle. If you don't know, so it is the deep learning, machine learning platform where organizers can host their competitions. Okay, now these are the competitions. Okay, and also few competitions provide you the prizes. So which is a wonderful resource to explore and to just enhance your skills by participating in these data science competitions. Okay, class. So this is one of the data sets. So let's suppose you search for COVID images or any other phrase you can use. So you will find 321 data sets. So these are the data sets that may be available in the matrix form, or they can be available in the form of images also. Okay. So let's suppose COVID-19 CT scans are also available. Okay, COVID-19 data set. So these are the wonderful resources where you can download the data sets. Class, yes, no?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So similarly, Hugging Face. This is the one of the very good library where all the trained models are also uploaded are there. Means the similar in this teachable machine we build a model. Na? So Hugging Face contain trained model. So you can use that trained model for your research also. Now similarly, just go to point number 9. Papers with code. So just right click, open in a new tab. So again, this is a wonderful resource that consists of nearly 8,036 data sets. So now the best part for this papers with code is that they are categorized into different subcategories. Like images are there, text are there, videos, audios, medical, 3D, graphs, speech, time series. So multiple things are also available there. Now similarly, if you want to filter data set according to a task, so question answer session, semantic segmentation, object detection, speech recognition. So these are the filter by tasks. Okay. Similarly, the best part for this papers with code, just click on the home page. Just click on this icon, extreme left top, papers with code. So class, this is a wonderful resource where the organizers merge all the papers with their codes. The website name is papers with code. So you can easily get the paper and easily get the code. So the author provide the code that is available in the GitHub. So यानी कि paper भी है आपके पास and you have the code also. Okay. So it publishes the recent research in the field of AI, machine learning, deep learning, time series, chat GPT. Okay. large language models are also available there. So this is a wonderful resource. ठीक है, इससे कहीं बाहर जाने की आपको जरूरत नहीं है. Now the best part for this website is go to browse state of the art. Just click on the link, browse state of the art. So they categorize the complete research, complete domain of deep learning, machine learning, image processing into subcategories like computer vision, okay, natural language processing, medical images, miscellaneous, methodology, time series, graph, speech, audio, reasoning, computer codes. So multiple things are also categorized here. Now just go to the very first is computer vision and just click on this link, see all 1521 tasks. Just click on this link. So again, they categorize the computer vision into subcategories like semantic segmentation, classification, representation language learning, image classification. So let's suppose object detection, domain adaptation, image generation. So let's suppose I want to work on object detection. So just click on see all 34 tasks. Again, they categorize. Now just click on any of the image. Let's suppose aerial image, object detection in aerial images. Just click. So this is the best part. You will get the papers, you will get the code, you will get the libraries. Again, these are the data set that is available. Okay, and these are some most implemented research papers. So papers with code is one of the best resource for all the researchers. Okay, that those who are working in AI domain or machine learning domain or deep learning domain. Class, yes, no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Perfect.
Yes, sir.
Now, again, please explore all these data sets. One of the very legendary data sets and one of the most precious data set is UCI machine learning repository. So that is maintained by Irwin. So whenever this is one of the oldest data set repositories. So in the current time, this is it will contain most of the researches that I think 30 years back उनका data set भी यहाँ पे available है. So class, this is a wonderful resource. So just explore the data set, and if you are able to get it, just take the data and just give to the teachable machine, and you can easily build a system. Okay, or just include some students in your projects. So that can be one of the projects that you can develop. Okay, so let's. This is all about the part number 2. So we explore some data sets. Okay, now come to the main part of this current session. So we are going to build a machine learning model using PyCart. So I hope everybody is familiar with the machine learning part. Yes, no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Perfect. So now just again go to my home page and point number 5, machine learning using PyCart. Just click here. Just go to point number 5, machine learning using PyCart. Click here. Okay. Again, it will redirect you to my home page, sorry, my GitHub page. So there are multiple notebooks are also available. ठीक है, अभी इनको थोड़ी देर में हम explain करते हैं. But before moving forward, let me give you a very brief idea about what is PyCart. So very best part is that so it is a bundle of multiple machine learning algorithms. Bundle means multiple machine learning algorithms are just working together. Only 3 lines of code is required to compare 20 machine learning models. So just see how simple it is. Only 3 lines of code is there. Otherwise, in most of the cases, what happen? Just you go to the scikit-learn library. Okay, download 3-4 models library, then import that model and then get the result and find out कि कौन सा model सबसे अच्छा है. So class, whenever you got some data, the very first objective is to find out which model. It can be deep learning model, it can be machine learning model. So which model is working best on my data set? Okay, so this is one of the wonderful library that help you to save your lot of precious time. Okay, so now point number 3. So these are the just three lines of code. अभी हम इस पे practice करेंगे. Okay, so these are just 3 lines of code. In the first 2 lines, we are just importing a library. In the third line, importing a data. In the second last line, we are calling a function setup that will define what is the data set and what is the target column. And finally, we need to just call a function with the name compare model. So that is a very quick introduction, and we will hands-on practice on this PyCart also. Okay, class. If our data set is of regression type, okay, everybody know what is a regression? Can anyone want to share कि regression क्या होता है? Yes, no, please. Class, anyone? What is a regression? Perfect. Very good. So our target column is of continuous data. So class, if you run this PyCart on your regression data set, okay, just 3 lines of code will generate this type of comparative analysis of multiple machine learning models on different evaluation parameters. Kitna simple hai? Yes, no? And
Yes,
these things are required whenever you are writing some research papers. So only these things are required. Okay, we need to compare multiple models. So these are the evaluation parameters like mean absolute error, mean square error, root mean square error, and it sort all the models on the basis of R-square value. So just see how simple it is and how powerful it is. Okay, now again, if your data set is of classification type, so everybody know classification kya hota hai? Outcome is of my discrete values. So if you are running PyCart for classification project, then it will compare multiple models on different evaluation parameters like accuracy, AUC, recall, precision, F1, kappa, MCC. Okay, and again it sort all the models based on accuracy part. Similarly, it can also work for clustering. So in the today's session, first I will cover regression part. Then in the second part, we are going to cover classification and clustering part. Okay. So now in the clustering part, we will not get this customized result. We need to run all the models multiple times and with different codes. Then end of the day, we need to merge it. So let's suppose in the clustering, we have multiple clustering algorithms like k-mean clustering, hierarchical clustering, k-mean shift clustering. And these are the evaluation parameters, Lothi score, Kleninski, and Davis. These are some parameters. And different number of cluster we are going to compare with different pre-processing techniques. Okay, so ये सारी चीजें हम अभी just next before lunch हम ये करने वाले हैं. So class, are you getting something about PyCart? Yes, no? Hey, yes, no, please.
Yes, sir.
Oh, only one?
yes, sir.
Sure. So now class, there are multiple notebooks are also available. So very first is regression. Second, for classification, and third for clustering, there are 2 notebooks. One is with result and without result. So we will cover in the end. So just click on PyCart for regression. So just right click, open in a new tab. So we are working with regression. Right click, open a new tab. So class, this is all about the regression part जो हम अभी आज करने वाले हैं. Okay. And चलिए, just right click, open in a collab. So just click on this link and open in a collab. You can click, or you can also again open in, right click and open in a new tab. Yes, done. Class, done.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, again, this will open in a collab. I hope everybody know what is a collab. Collab मालूम है सभी को? Yes, no?
Yes, sir. Google platform.
Oh, very good,
Yes.
very good. So those who are aware with Google Collab, it's wonderful. Otherwise, it is a online platform for executing your projects. The best part is sharing. So let's suppose 3 or 4 person are working on the same project. So you can easily share this notebook with everyone. So everyone can check the progress, what is the progress in the project. So nowadays, 99% people are working on Google Colab. Okay. So now let's move forward. So very first, moving forward, so just click on copy to drive. Class, just click on copy to drive. So this notebook will copy in your Google Drive. So just click. It is creating a copy in your drive. It's done. Yes, no?
No, sir.
No shows. Just click on copy to drive. And again, chaliye, let's move forward. So it is a well-documented notebook for PyCart. Okay. So now in this tutorial, we are going to learn about how to run the PyCart, how to tune the models, how to apply different pre-processing technique on the data sets, how to save the result, load the model, different activities we are going to perform. Now, just very first step number A. So just control enter to execute a cell in a collab. You need to, there are two options. Number one, either click on this button or just press control enter. Sorry. So now just see here, it is connecting to my Google server, allocating some resource, and then it will be we are able to run the code. So now it is connected. So now if you bring your mouse on this RAM, it will show you 12 GB of RAM and 100 GB of hard disk space is allocated to you. So now very first step is installing the package PyCart in my Google Colab. So for installing any package, so just pip install PyCart. So this is the simplest command, and we are working with the Colab and we are working on the notebook. Then you need to put exclamation sign. So class, library installation is done. Class done? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
हम कुछ नहीं कर रहे हैं, we are just pressing control enter. चलिए. Now let's move forward to the step number B. We want to know the version, which version of PyCart we are using. So class C, just here, it is 2.3.10. Now, but you will find there is a very higher version, 3.0.3. So this notebook is just 6 months old. So in the 6 month, they release the new version. Okay. So everyone done? Yes, no? Chaliye. So now just come to step number 1.1. So there are few data sets available with this PyCart. So 55 data sets are also available. So class, in this line, we are just importing just press execute, just execute, control enter मारिए, just press control enter. So class, we want to know what are the different data sets available with the PyCart. So for this, we are just importing a function with the name get data, and we are calling a function again and just passing index. So show me all the 55 data sets. Okay, these are the data set names. These are the data types. Acha, class, before moving forward, what do you mean by univariate and multivariate? Anyone? What do you mean by multivariate and univariate? Yes, no? Okay, no issues. So in multivariate, we have multiple inputs. Let's suppose 5 inputs are there, 6 inputs are there, 7 inputs are there. So more than one input, all the data set will be considered as a multivariate. Okay. And in univariate, one input, one output. So the best example for univariate is OTP. Okay, one-time password. So for every transaction, there is a one OTP. Okay. So in that case, one input is there, one output is there. So OTP is one of the best example of univariate. But in our real life problems, 99.99 cases, our data set is of multivariate. Okay. So similarly, what are the default tasks we are going to perform? Similarly, what are the number of instances available in the data set? What are the number of attributes? Means number of columns. Okay. And so this is a brief information about all the 55 data sets are also available. If you scroll down, so there are multiple data sets, about 55 data sets. So if you want to work with Parkinson disease or on gold or energy, diamond, concrete, if any one of you from civil background, then you can then this is a data set for the civil concrete ka data set hai, and you need to predict what is the output, means strength. Okay, so this is all about the data sets. Now come to step number 1.2. So I am talking about 3 lines of code. So this is the very first line. So just execute. And for this data set, we for this experiment, for this practical session, we are working with the Boston data set. So that is available at 46 number. So now this is a Boston data set. It is a regression data set. Target column is MEDV, and that consists of 506 rows and 14 columns are there. Okay. So now, if I am working on Boston, so just passing Boston, it will pull the get data will pull the Boston data set from its library and assign to this variable. Okay. Now let's suppose you want to work with traffic. So just copy karo usko traffic ko and just Boston ko replace kar dijiye. So it will automatically pull out the traffic data set. So now it is showing the 5 data sets, just 5 rows. So these are the inputs. And my last column is of my last column is my regression target column, and you just see this is a continuous values, so that's why this is a data set of regression. So class, this is a step number 1. I am pulling my data set. Now come to step number 2. We are setting the parameters. Okay, now rerun the code. You will find error. So error is, now why error is occur? Because it is showing error on silent. So just see silent. So this in the new version silent, they remove the silent. So आपको क्या करना है, इसको remove कर दीजिए and just press bracket. Remove the silent part and just press rerun again. So just see in the last 6 months, they change a lot in this library. Some function may be obsolete, so they remove, and new functionality may be added. Okay, so silent is there, so just remove the silent part and just usko hata dijiye us parameter ko, and then rerun the code. Sorry. So class, in this line, our data set is divided into 2 parts: training and testing part. Okay, so 70% by default is training and 30% will goes to the testing part. Now let's suppose if you want to change some parameter. Okay, I want to change the testing parameter. तो क्या करना है? Just ये parameter copy किया, paste किया, and just make it to 6.6 train size. Okay, these are the different parameters. Okay, so these are the different parameter of setup functions. So where we can easily change the training testing percentage. Okay, now Next part is if you want to make the data shuffle. Shuffle means data को row wise shuffle कर दिया है. But if you don't want कि shuffle हो, तो क्या करिए, इसको false कर दीजिए. Comma paste. When data shuffling will be false. By default it is true. Okay. By default it is true. But if you don't want कि shuffling the enable हो, so just give it assign to false. So for the time being, we are just running the code on their default parameters. Sorry. Okay, so second step is done. Now come to 1.4. So this is the third line that I am talking about. So we are just calling a function with the name compare models. Press enter, control enter. So now just see in the it is running multiple models in the backend, collecting all the data and showing me in the tabular form. So it is still running. Yes, perfect. So now class, just see. It sorts, it compare all the models and sorted according to R-square value. And just see 0.874 is the best R-square value that is given by extra tree regressor. You may get the different results because shuffling is by default on. Whenever we all are working on the same data set, everybody will get the different data sets in the training part, and everybody will get the different data set in the testing part. Okay, so sabhi ke result, so we all will get the different different results. But most important thing is that this value does not vary too much. Someone get 0.89 or someone get 0.86. Class, yes, no?
Sir, actually getting the light GBM at here.
No issues.
Yeah, okay, sir.
No issues. ऊपर नीचे थोड़ा सा हो जाएगा, but the difference is we will not find too much difference in the R-square value because data is very neat and clean. Okay. Now, if I make this parameter data split shuffle equal to false, all will get the same result because shuffling will be false.
Correct, sir.
Okay, chaliye. Now come to 1.5. So first just remove the silent part. Silent equal to true isko hata dijiye is parameter ko and just run it again. So all the three lines are merged into single one. Okay, so this is a simple step that you need to perform. Otherwise, in what happened in the you need to download multiple models from download libraries from sklearn library. Then after that you need to call the function, then build the model, then call that particular function, divide the data sets, and then every model is giving the results. Then you need to write any other program or you need to just copy paste and then build this type of comparison table. So just see how much simple it is. A 3 line of code will give you the comparative performance study of multiple machine learning algorithms. Yes, chaliye. Similarly, come to 1.6. So let's suppose if you want to work on insurance data set. So just first remove the silent part. So kya kiya? There are only two changes. Number one, which data set I want to work. So just isko read kiya, insurance data set with diya, and I need to change the target part also because data set is different, so target may be different. Okay, now it is done. Now this is the new addition in the Google Colab. A small tick is there and it's also able to write the time. So this shall executed in 47 seconds. Okay, so there may be a difference in some execution times also there. So class, yahan tak clear hai? Yes, no? Everything
Yes,
is clear
sir.
till now?
Yes, sir.
Perfect.
Yes, sir.
Now the next part is that if you want to work with your own data set. Okay, so I just come to step number 2.4. 2.3. just just let me give just wait. So class, do one thing in step number 2.1. Just execute first line, remove last two lines. Just execute 2.1. So let's suppose you want to work with your own data set. Okay. So I am just doing one thing. Pandas भी है. Just wait. Copy. Plus, just I'm giving you a very quick idea. Whenever if you want to work with your own data set, तो क्या करना है? Just go to file. This is a folder. Okay. Now there are two options. Number one, go to file. Upload your file. Just click on this icon. Browse your file. So let's suppose I am selecting my iris data set. Okay. So your data set is come. Done? Yes, no? If you want to work with your own data set, कि अपने data set पे PyCart, how to run the PyCart on your own data set. So in that case, very first step.
We can't hear you.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
I think her mic. No issues. So very first step is to upload the data. So uploading के लिए क्या करना है? Just click on this files folder. Just click on this icon, upload, select your file, and it automatically uploaded. So let's suppose this is the file name that is yours. So just click on these three dots, copy path. Okay. Now, so close कर दीजिए, and just come to step number 2.4. Just come to 2.4. Just paste the file name. Just see, dataset is red is there, setup function is there. So setup function में हम क्या कर रहे हैं? We need to just assign the variable where my dataset is, all the dataset is stored, my data, and the target column is there. So let's suppose you have a target column with the name test result. Okay, class. So these are the small changes that you need to do. Number one, your file name. And second, what is the target column name? So target column name must be the same. So just copy paste karna, don't try to write, because in writing there may be some issues, some writing spelling mistake may be there, or you can give the space also. So the exact name must be there. Okay. So these are the two things that you need to change. That's it. So just control enter, run, and it will generate the result on your data set. Now, what is the issue? Pandas, I didn't import the pandas. So class, are you getting something? Yes, no?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So I'm not getting that particular file, sir. When
Which file?
uploading, sir, as you uploaded that one, sir, that file not getting.
No. If you want to work with your own data set, okay.
Okay.
So first click on this icon. Select your file. Let's suppose any file is there. Let's suppose this is your file. Iris file is there. So your file is uploaded in the Google Colab. Okay. So now let's suppose this is a file. Just click on three dots and copy path. Okay. Now in the copy path, you need to read your file. So just in the file, in this pd.cv, so just paste your file path name. Okay, that is a path. Okay, my data is loaded and it is assigned to my data set. Similarly, the second function is setup. So in the setup function, I need to define the data set. So data set name is my data set, no change is there. Second is we need to assign the target column. Just see here, I am giving a different target column. So it is giving me an error. invalid value for the target parameter. So target name here is MEDV. Okay, that is the important thing. And finally, just we are calling a function compare models. So just execute. So these are simple steps. Upload the data, your data sets. Second, change the path name, give the path name. And third, change the target column name. Only 3 changes are there. Three things that you need to do. Class, after the session, I will update this notebook. Okay, these are small quick errors like silent is there. So I will make the clean notebook again, so you can refer it in the whenever you need it later. So class, just see r square is 0.89. So this is a thing that we can use it. Okay. So similarly, 2.5 is also again there. Your data set, setup function, and compare models. So class, I hope sabhi ko, are you getting something? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Perfect. Now,
So the target name is derived from which folder? The MB.
the target column is the name of the column, name of the data, name of the column ki which is your column data set. For the machine learning, our data must be in this format. There are some input parameters, input folders are there, and this is my last column name. Target column is this one.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay.
है ना? चलिए. Let's move forward. Come to step number 3. Class, this is the most important part of this session. If I am asking 2 questions for you, class, if I am asking you 1 question, how many ways or what are the different ways through which I can improve the performance of a machine learning model or any other model? How can I improve the performance of a model? बताइए.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, by using
Just अपने मोबाइल को या लैपटॉप को म्यूट करिए एक बार. Your voice is echo.
hyperparameter.
I'm not getting. You can write in the chat also.
Hyperparameter.
So class, there are 2 ways through which we can improve the performance of our model. Number 1, data pre-processing. Okay. So now in pre-processing, there are multiple things are there. Number 1 is normalization. If you scroll down, feature selection, scroll down, removal of outliers, data transformation, applying some PCA, principal component analysis, and we can also apply different combinations of pre-processing techniques. So if I'm asking you 1 question, how we can improve the performance of a model. So number 1 is pre-processing. And second is tuning the parameter of a model. The tuning of parameter means, let's suppose we already covered in the teachable machine for a neural network. There are parameter, number of epochs are there. Okay, activation function is there. Okay, there are multiple parameters are there, so through which we can improve by changing these parameters. The performance may improve. Class, yes, no? Okay. Now, come to step number 3.1.
Sir, once show the 2.5, actually getting errors around there.
Just leave it. उसको छोड़ दीजिए आपको. Just come to 3.1. So the class, I want to apply normalization on my data set. So now, what is the so how I can apply? So just in the setup function, till now we are just providing 2 things. What is the data set, and second, what is the target column? Now you need to mention some more parameters, like first, normalization equal to true, and which normalization method we are using. So z-score is silent ko remove kar do. Just remove the silent. Okay. So normalization, anyone can tell me what is the normalization? Class. Okay, no issues. Everybody knows normalization kya hota hai. We are bringing all the data points in the same scale. Okay, so there are multiple normalization methods are also there. Like z-score is one of the common method. Again, min max, max absolute, robust. Okay, so now, so in this example, we are going to tell if what is the first we need to enable the normalization karna hai. First make it true, and after that which normalization method I want to apply. Okay, so ये setup function हमने change किया, and again we are comparing all the models. So if you now I am not executing the code again. Okay, it will take time. So now just think here, it will in the back end normalization method will apply on the complete data set, and it automatically move to all the models, train the models on 70%, test on the 30%, and just generate this type of report. Okay, now again you can rerun. Let's suppose I want to work with min max, so copy karo, just replace z-score with min max, and just check which method will give the best accuracy using normalization. Similarly, run it for max absolute, run it for robust. Okay, so you can run for 4 different normalization methods. Again, you will find कि अपने को कौन सा सबसे बेस्ट मॉडल, सबसे बेस्ट मेथड अपने को सबसे बेस्ट रिजल्ट दे रहा है. Class, yes, no? Okay.
Yes.
So now
Yes.
move forward. Step number 3.2. So class, feature selection. So feature selection is one of the again pre-processing techniques. So let's suppose I have 100 columns. 100 columns are there. Now I am asking you कि just select 520 important columns. है ना? 100 हैं अपने पास, and we want I'm just asking you कि just select 20 columns. So how to select feature importance? So feature selection. So now in the feature selection, just come to step number 6.1. Class, just scroll down and just to come step number 6.1. Just come to step number 6.1. Yes. So here we are going to plot all the features according to their importance. Okay. So now just see, in the x-axis we are able to their variable importance is there, and in the y-axis features are there. So these are the features, and just see 2 features, RM and L states, are having the highest importance. So just visualize it. Okay, all our features are arranging in according to their importance. Okay, so this is one of the important analysis of the features. You can use this graph. You can use this graph in your research paper, in your thesis report, in your presentation. Okay, let's suppose somebody working on cancer or somebody working on different attributes. So if you want to know कि हाँ कौन सा feature सबसे ज़्यादा important है, then you can show this is a graph. Okay, we will cover this also, but come back to again 3.2. So for feature selection, there are few parameters. Number 1, very first is we are enabling the feature selection. Yes, feature selection true kar do. Next, there are multiple methods for feature selection. So I am using classic method. Okay. Third, what should be the threshold? So as you see, the threshold for both the parameter are 0.4. Okay. So I am giving 0.2. So 0.2 का मतलब क्या है? If I am showing you the feature importance graph, so 0.2, yes. So this is a 0.2, and just see if I am selecting 0.2, so then only 2 feature will come into the action. All the remaining feature will drop out. Class, yes, no?
Yes, sir. That is a regression feature.
Yes, perfect. Now similarly, let's suppose I am giving 0.1, still only 2 feature will be selected. So if I am giving 0.005, then maybe third parameter may be selected. So threshold selection is quite important. Now, just come to 3.2. So there are three parameters. Number one, first feature selection को true किया है. Feature selection method classic and feature threshold is 0.2. And just remove silent line. We are not running this because short of time. So again, in the backend, feature selection is done. All the model will be trained, and then this type of comparison is done. Okay, class. Now, next, come to 3.3, outlier removals. So I hope everybody know what is outlier. So let me explain in a very simple language. So let's suppose there is a class of 50 students, and so pocket money of a students and a salary of a teacher. Okay, so that is beyond a part. ठीक है, बहुत ज़्यादा है. So teacher is the outlier. Okay, so similarly, just see here. If I want to apply outlier removal on my data set, तो क्या करना है सबसे पहले? I am enabling the outlier removal true. I am again setting a parameter setup threshold 0.05. So 0.05 का मतलब क्या है? 2.5% from the right and 2.5% from the left. Okay, because we want our data should be in normalized form. So in that case, we need a bell-shaped curve. So उसको हमारा 2.5 from the right say extreme value and 2.5 from the left hand side. Okay, so that these value may be removed. So you can also change these value like 0.6, 0.7, 0.8. If you make it 1, so means 10%. So 10% means from the right hand side we are going to remove 5%, and from the left hand side we are going to remove 5%. Okay, so ये data यहाँ से हो जाएगा. Then we are again rerun the code and just remove the silent part and just see if there is an improvement in the performance or not. Now similarly, transformation. So transformation में क्या होता है? We are just changing the label parameter. Let me explain with some example. So let's suppose I have a feature with the name F1 and that consists of some random values between 1 and 100, and some grand is there. Okay, let's suppose class, this is a small quick example of transformation. Now I want to create a new column, and I want a value like this. Means if this value is less than equal to 50, then 0, else 1. Just see here class, on the basis of some decision, I am just converting my complete data into binary part 1 0. Okay, so this is one of the example of transformation. I change my column values to binary. I can choose anyone. Let's suppose 0 to 25 है तो 1 हो जाए, and 26 to 50 है तो 2 हो जाए, and 26 to 75 है 3, and then up to 100 वो 4 हो जाए. So we can divide the data set into 4 part also. Okay, so this is an example of transformation. Now come back to the part. So class, first we need to enable the transformation. So for transformation method, there is a U-Johnson method is there, and that's it. Only these things are required for transformation. Again, just see कि R square में कोई improvement है या नहीं है. Okay. Similarly, come to 3.5 PCA. PCA again pre-processing technique where it generates the new features. Let's suppose 10,000 features are there. Class, this is very important. Let's suppose you have 10,000 features. So 10,000 features means 10,000 columns. So no model will be available there that can work on 10,000 features. Nowadays, ChatGPT is there, BART is there, so they are trained on billions of parameters. But from the very long time, no classical model will work on 10,000 features. Okay, earlier. So in that case, we need to apply PCA. So PCA क्या करता है? It will reduce the 10,000 features to 5 or 6 features. Okay, so there is a concept of eigenvalues is there, eigenvector is there. So they calculate and they convert the 10,000 features to remaining 5 features or 6 features. So then PCA, then we can apply the, we can run the models. So just see here, for to apply PCA, very first is make it PCA true. Which PCA method I want to apply? That is linear. And just, okay, this is only 2 parameters. And just see the performance of the R square. It's just goes down to 0.32. Earlier it was 0.86, 0.87, 0.88. So now R square value is down. So means ऐसा नहीं है कि every pre-processing method will improve the performance. It's also degrade the performance also. Okay, class? Yes, no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Perfect. Now come to 3.6. If I want to apply multiple operations simultaneously. So let's suppose I want to apply outlier removal again and normalization. Okay. So क्या किया मैंने? Outlier removal true. I am assigning the threshold क्या है? Similarly, comma, normalize parameter, normalize method, and silent को हटा दीजिए. Just remove the silent part. So by doing this way, we are able to perform 2 operations simultaneously on the data set. Class, is it okay?
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yes.
Come to 3.7. Again, I want to apply multiple parameters like outlier removal, normalization, transformation. So just visualize how the things are become simple. Otherwise, we need to write a outlier program for outlier removal. You need to write a different program for normalization. You need to write a different program for transformation. So in this example using PyCart, it is just a matter of changing the parameter in a function. It is no more of, it is not nothing. It is just a function call. You know, function may we are just passing the parameters. So just parameter we are passing, and we can easily apply the operation. Okay. Now, so class, come to 3.8. There are multiple things are available with the setup function. Just right click on the link, open in a new tab. Okay. So now this is a detailed description of the setup function. Okay. So let's suppose I am searching for Control F, normalization. Normalize underscore method. So class, just see, this is the function parameter and the default is z score. If you search again, so just see here, by default normalization method is false. So by default normalization method is false, and these are the available parameters for normalization: min max, max absolute, robust. Okay, and by default z score is there. Okay, similarly you will find, let's suppose I want to find for PCA. I want to find for PCA. Okay, so for PCA part, just search for PCA. So by default false. So PCA method. So PCA method is by default linear. Okay. So class, I'm talking. I already informed you that PCA is a matter of eigenvalues, eigenvectors are there. So you can easily change the method. The linear method is there, kernel method is there, incremental method is there. Okay. So similarly, you can learn more about the setup parameters of setup. Okay. Now, again, just 10 more minutes I required to complete this notebook. So I'm just quickly cover. Yes. Okay. So class, I'm not executing the code. I'm just showing you the result part. So let's suppose whenever you are working, your best model is come out. Okay, let's suppose you identify a model, and your model is random forest. Okay, so in that case, I want to build that particular model for my deployment. Okay, so now in that case, what exactly you need to do? You need to train an individual model. So let's suppose my random forest is the winner. Okay, by comparing all the models. Now I want to make it available as a deployment. Okay, इसको मैं deploy करना है. Okay, so now very first step is to create the model. So I create the model. Okay, so to create a model, there is a function with the name create model, and you need to pass RF. And model is created and assigned to the variable with the name RF model. The model is done. Now just see, it performed k-fold validation, and now this is all about the R square is there, second part. So just see, 0.84 is the my average R square value. Okay, so in that case, my random forest is created and assigned to this variable. Done. Now, these are the other models that are available with the PyCart, AdaBoost, Bayesian rigid, decision tree. So just let's suppose you want to build KNN. So just pass KNN. If you want to build, if your best model is LR, so you can easily just change RF. जहाँ पे जो हमने RF लिखा था, so just change with these shortcuts, these short terms. Okay, so that particular model will be built on your data set. Okay, now if you want to work with your explore what are the different parameters, so you can just explore the create model. So this is a good manual, so please इसको आप अपने साथ आप खुद explore करिए and just find out how to change the parameter of the particular model. Okay, let's suppose I want to change the parameter for random forest. Okay, so random forest में there is the parameter with the name number of estimators, यानी कि number of trees. So decision tree का extension ही random forest model है that consists of multiple trees. So in that case, you can easily change the number of parameters. So for this, you need to explore create model manual. चलिए, now this time model is created. Okay, now I want to predict on the unseen data. A model build हो गया है. Now I want to predict on the unseen data, जो कि नया data है. जैसे similarly we predict the new object using teachable machine. Okay, so in that case, model build हो गया है, and that is ready for the prediction of the new data or new images. So in that case, just come to 4.4. Right now I don't have the data set, so what I did here, कि जो Boston का data set था उसी में से I just selected 10 rows. 10 rows मैंने ले लिए. Okay, now this is the thing that we are talking about, predict model. So this is the function that required two things. Number one, model क्या है? So model is random forest that we created in the earlier step. And what is the data set? So new data set is there that we just selected from the Boston and run it. Okay, now if you run the particular code, then you will find a new column will is created with the name label. So these are the prediction values for my inputs. This is the input. Okay, so this is the input and this is the label part. So class MEDV is my, if I consider as an actual value, and label is my predicted value by the model. So just see, they are almost quite close. Okay, so this is actual value, MEDV is actual value, and label is the predicted value. Done. Now, so let's plot the scatter plot. So scatter, this is a scatter plot that is plot between actual and predicted, and it is considered कि 60% angle पे अगर all the points are lie, then my prediction is quite good. So for this, what I did here, so my result are saved in new predictions. So new prediction is a variable that consists of all the results. Now, so for plotting, I am just importing a matplotlib library. So last column I consider as a predicted, second last column I consider as a actual. So that is the beauty of Python ki by negative indexing we can select the last column or second last column. Okay, and just I am calling a function with the name plot.scatter. Actual predictor को pass कर दिया है and it's automatically save it. Okay, so this graph can be saved in your this files folder, or you can just right click and save the image also. Okay, so this is all about the scatter plot. If you download तो यहाँ से download कर सकते हैं. Save ये हो गया है अपना. Now this is all about the model loading part. So kindly please go through इसको कर लीजिए. Now the next part is plot some train model. Let's suppose we have the train model and we want to make some plots. Okay, so these are the few plots like error plot, learning plot, validation curve, feature parameters. So class, what I did here, first I am creating a model with the name random forest. उसको मैंने दोबारा create किया है. Next, let's suppose I want to plot error plot. So there is a function with the name plot underscore model. Just pass the model name and just change the parameter error. Okay, so that will just create error plot. So you can use this plot in your research paper, PPT, presentation, and even you can use in the thesis also. Okay, so that just show the performance of the model. Similarly, next is learning curve. So for the learning curve, क्या करना है? Plot model is the same function. अरे चला गया अभी. Okay, no shows. So it will just, if you just see in your notebook, so just in the x-axis there is a number of inputs. As the number of input increases, so how much model training is done. Okay. Similarly, validation curve. So this is the validation curve. Similarly, let's suppose I want to know what are the parameters used by the random forest. So plot model का नाम, and just pass the parameter as a plot equal to parameters. So that will show you what are the parameters of the random forest. So I'm talking about the random forest parameter, number of estimators. So this is one of the important parameter in random forest. If you change it, the performance may also change. Okay, chaliye. If you want to explore more about plot, so click here and just explore the things. Now this is the most important part, feature importance. I also show you this part, but the thing is that I want to visualize the feature importance की कौन सा कितना important है. So for this, I am creating a different models. So very first, I am creating a random forest model. Okay, and after that, I am just calling a function plot model, and I am passing a model, and just parameter changes feature. Okay, so you will see this is the feature importance. Okay, I already discussed with you. Similarly, if you want to visualize the feature importance through different models like extra tree regressor, so create extra tree regressor ET and just call the function. So similarly, you can find both parameters else state and RM are the best parameters. Okay, although in random forest the importance is quite high. Okay, but यहाँ भी इनकी high ही है. Similarly, if you want to train decision tree, so just call decision tree and it will print you the features according to the decision tree model. Okay, so class, this is all about the plotting part. So this is the pre-processing I covered. Plotting of different models, what are the intermediate steps, learning stats, feature importance is there. Okay, all these things are done. Now the last part, how to tune the model. I already told you there are two methods with which we can improve the performance. Number one is pre-processing. We already did it. And the next part is tuning the model. So class, this is quite important. Please focus here. So let's suppose I am just training a model with the name decision tree. Okay, let's suppose this is my winner and I want to tune more for higher performance. So what I did here, create model decision tree. So decision tree मेरा create हो गया है, and just see here my R square value. This is R square value. So I need to focus on mean R square value, means average R square value. So that is 0.65. Okay. So I hope, are you getting yes, no?
Yes, sir, but with a different value.
So we are getting 0.65 in the default parameters. Okay. Now next, I want to know the what are the values for the parameter. So just let me take the screenshot here. So I'm just taking the screenshot so that I can show you in the comparison. So I'm running mass paint. I pasted here. So these are the parameters. By default parameters are there. Okay, these are the parameter by default means before optimization. Now let's move forward. Okay, now this is the best part. This is the most important part. So there is a function with the name tune underscore model. It requires only two parameters. Number one, which model you want to optimize. So this is DT. DT is nothing but the train model. जो हमने यहाँ पे train किया था 7.1 में. Okay, so just pass the train model and then number of iterations. The number of iteration means कि how many times we want to perform the iterations, because optimization can require number of iterations where several parameters need to tune, ऊपर नीचे करना पड़ता है, then it can get the optimized. So just see here, tune model. This model को tune करना है, pass that particular model and number of iterations. And I assigned all the new model to decision tree. I lost the things. Just check the 7.2. What is the average R square value?
Checking, sir, already running that is.
No need to run. So those who didn't run, just tell me the average mean value for the R square value. So by default 0.65 is there. These are the parameters I already covered, and these are the decision tree. So just tuning the parameters, it will run for 200 iterations. You can change the number of iterations, 20, 50, 10, or you can change to 500. So by running the model on default parameter, you will get 0.65 R square value. Average R square value is 0.65. Now it is taking some time. Okay, for the time being, let's run it again. Now these are the parameters of the tune model. So this is my new updated tune model. So let's copy the parameters and just let me paste on the paint part and just check what are the new parameters are there. Okay, class, just see here. Before and after. Before tuning and after tuning. Now these are the differences. So class, here it is using a criteria of MSC. Okay, so here it is using the criteria of MSC. And in the tune model, it is using a Friedman MSC. Okay, maximum depth none, and here you can see maximum depth 8, maximum feature none, maximum feature 1. Okay, minimum impurity 0, it is 0.001. Similarly, sample leaves are 1, sample leaf are 3, sample minimum split is 2, minimum split is 9. So these are the parameters these are the optimized parameters. So through which the performance is increases. So let me check the again. Run. Yes. Let's just see here. Before running the model on default parameter, 0.65 is the R square value. But after tuning, you will just see R square value is 0.76. Okay. So there is an increment of 0.11. Yes, no? So by doing this way, we can improve the performance of the model. Yeah, done. Now, there's some advanced part where you can deploy, you can apply different pre-processing techniques, different merging of model that is known as ensembling, blending, stacking, bagging. So these are the models that is AutoML. So they automatically ensemble merging all the models for higher performance. Similarly, if you want to deploy the model on AWS and Azure, so you can refer to this link. So that clearly explain how your trained model can be deployed for the production part. So class, that is all about the very first part, that is PyCart for regression. So let's take a break, and then we will cover the second part, classification and clustering part. So any question, any query, please? Yes, no?
So in that, sir, PyCart only need to learn few functions and there need to modify and there only that the things. And whatever the data sets will provide based on that, it will give the result to us.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, anything? No? So break कितने time का होता है?
Half an hour, sir.
Okay, so let's resume at 11:40.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, class. So let's resume at 11:40.
Okay.
11.
Thanks, sir.
Yes, sir. 11:40.
Okay, perfect. So let me pause the recording. So now class, welcome back. So now the second part is classification and clustering. So everyone, I hope everyone get the idea ki how PyCart is work for regression part. So now we will do for classification as well as for the clustering part. Chaliye. So now there are two notebook. Sorry, just click on the second part, classification without result. Right click, open a new tab. For those who joined late, so just go to my homepage, that is psvana.com. And in the right hand side, you will find point number 5, machine learning using PyCart. Click here. So just click on the link, PyCart for classification. Just right click and open in a new tab. Okay, done. Chaliye. Now just click on open in Colab. Just open, right click, open in Colab. And very first step is copy to drive. So this notebook will automatically copy to your Google Drive. Okay, class. So yes, everyone done? Class, yes, no? You could write in the chat also. So let's start. So now class, this is one of the updated library. So just click on the install package, install PyCart. 95% things are same. as we did in the regression. 95% things are same. So just execute step number A. Just press control enter. So it automatically execute. So now it is connected to the Google server. And these are the following resources that is allocated: 12.68 GB of RAM and 100 GB of disk. Now class, if you want to execute the complete notebook in single go, just go to runtime, run all. Okay, so that the time will not waste after running the complete things. Also, let's suppose you want to execute the current shell and the below shell. तो क्या करने का? Go to runtime, run after. So just click on run after. So it will execute all the current step as well as all the subsequent steps, so that time will not waste in execution. So class, this is the current version of PyCart. Now come to step number 1.1. The same thing. We are listing the dataset available with the PyCart. Come to step number 1.2. So for this experiment, we are working with the diabetes dataset. Okay. So now diabetes dataset is available at step number serial number 7. So just explore that serial number 7. Yes. So this is a diabetes dataset. It is a multivariate. It is for binary classification, and I hope everybody aware कि classification में if we have only 2 class, that data considered as a binary classification. If it contain more than 2, 3, 4 कुछ भी 2 से ज़्यादा हैं, तो it will consider as a multi-class classification. So my target column name is class variable. It consists of 768 number of rows and 9 are the columns. So because we need to run in the faster manner, so we consider only small data so that our result will be executed in very small amount of time. Chali. So class, this is all about the data set. This consists of multiple parameters, and my last column is as a target column. You see, it consists of only 1010 binary classification ka data hai apne paas. Similarly, step number 3. So this time, this is a updated notebook. So set a function. I am just providing the data set जो उसको मैंने read किया है ऊपर and target column name. If you execute it, so then set a function is done. Now third part, compare model. Just see here, it is compare multiple classification models on different evaluation parameters. So where the topmost is accuracy. So uske accordingly, it sort all the models. And there are other parameters like AUC, recall, precision, F1 kappa. So these are the evaluation matrices. So you can go through and please check what is the significance of these other parameters. So class C, this is all about the binary classification part. Now let's suppose I merge all the 3 lines of code into a single cell. So let's suppose diabetes data set is there, class variable run. So again, you will find the comparison table. Similarly, if you want to work with the cancer data set, so I am just passing cancer and I am just changing the target column name. So it automatically run all the models for cancer data set, and you will find the accuracy is 97%. Means all the models are giving very good results. So means data is quite simple, quite clean, neat and clean is there. Okay, all the models are giving the almost same results. So this is all about the running the PyCart for classification problem. Similarly, now let's suppose you want to download your own data set. Okay, so now it is. So first I am saving the data set to the in the local. So it is just waiting. So class, in this example, this is the same key. If you want to work with your own data set, user data set. So I'm just showing you the last part, 2.5. So in 2.5, just same thing. Click on this icon, upload your file. Let's suppose this is my file. copy the path, and just change the path name and paste. So this way you can run classification PyCart models for your own classification data set. Okay, so this will load the data, and similarly set up your data and then compare the models. By doing this way, you can easily compare multiple models. Okay, so class second and next part is data pre-processing. So normalization is there. So we already covered the normalization, make it normalization true, normalization method this. Okay, similarly feature selection, outlier removal, transformation, TCA, more than one operation, multiple operations are there, and setup function is there. So class 99% or up to 95%, all the things are same. Okay, because kya hai, this time only model will change and very few parameter will change. Now let's suppose your best models come to the market, and that is considered as a, let's suppose, random forest. I'm now building a single model through create model and then test it on the unseen data. So you already covered this thing in the regression part. So same thing is there. Similarly, saving the model. So let's suppose you want to save the results, you want to save the model. So if I'm saving this model like this will save here. Plus, this is quite important. Let me execute it again for you. So I am building a model 4.1. So through 4.1, I am able to build a model with the name random forest, and it assigned to the variable name RF model. Okay, variable name is RF model. That can be anything, but for this, for simplicity, ki random forest model is saved in this variable. Now come to the step number 4.4. Not 4.4, 4.6. Yes, this is quite important. If you want to save your model को save करना है, जैसे हमने teachable machine में देखा था. So there is a function with the name save underscore model, then your model name and the file name. Just execute this one. If you execute this, just go to the file folder, just refresh it, and you will find your model is like this. So just click download, and your model is saved to your directory, saved to your local machine. Save it, and just see the file size, 1.3 MB. Okay, so save it at a location where you want. Let's suppose I want some the place. So now model is downloaded. Now this model you can share. Let's suppose you mailed me or I mailed you my train model. So through which we can share there is no need to retrain the model again. Okay, let's suppose I have some hardware issues. I have limitation of hardware. Then I give the data to you. You train the model and you just save the model and save in the file, and thus you send to me. Okay, so through which we can share the model train modeling. Done. Now similarly, 4.8, this is quite important. Okay, let's suppose you got the model and you want to upload it and you want to use for unseen data. So this is the uploading part. So I'm not covering this one. Now this is the way we can make the predictions. So क्या करना है? Just go to this file. Again, browse your model file. तो आपकी जो model file है उसको select करिए and just upload कर दीजिए. So your trained file like this. Click करिए, copy path, and just change the name here. Paste. Just remove the extension part and just load the model. So now model saving is one thing. उसको use करने के लिए we need to first load it. Load it means it will come into my RAM. After that, I'm using that model for the predictions. So now new data is not available right now. So predict model is there, and I'm just giving you the model name and data set is there. So it will make the prediction and store in the new predictions table, variable. Okay. Class, this is all about the model say running for my unknown data sets. Similarly, plotting the model. So in plotting the model, there are multiple plots like AUC, area under the curve, confusion matrix, okay, boundary area, learning rate. So these are some important parameters in classification part that we are going to explore. Now just 5.1 पे आइए, execute करिए. You can execute the 5.1. So I am retraining my random forest model. Now let's suppose model is created. Now you want to plot a confusion matrix. So just execute 5.2. This is all about the confusion matrix. It is between actual class and predicted class. So how many number of times a 0 is predicted as 0? That means 129 times. Similarly, actual class is 1, and how many times it is predicted as 1? 47 times. Okay, so this is a confusion matrix. Next, learning curve. Execute 5.3. So class, this is important thing. Okay, we are just predicting the model, means uska confusion matrix kya hai, uska learning rate kya hai, learning in the form of graph. So that help you to visualize ki how number of input are increasing, so how exactly my learning is happening. Yes, it's done. Now just explore the table. In the x-axis, you will find the number of instances, means number of data increases. So as the data increases, score value is there. How my score is changing. Okay, so you will find key number of instances up to 20 to 50, 255 मान लो 260 मान लीजिए. It is giving me the highest score. Now this score is nothing but this score. ये जो 10th यहाँ पे accuracy आई है, this is the prediction values. ये 10 times इसको run किया है and ये increase हुआ हमारा. Now similarly AUC, this is also one of the important parameters that we need to visualize. Area under the curve. So accuracy just see 0.8 के निये के आसपास आ रही है. The thing is that as my blue color key, so this is the actual ROC curve, but let's suppose multiple values are there. So our value must be near to 0, near to 1. That will be considered as a good ROC curve. So let's suppose you want to compare multiple models on a single graph. Okay, but that is in the case of binary classification only. So the value that is come to near to 1, that will be considered as a good model. Chaliye. Next, decision tree. Sorry, decision boundaries. So this is a decision boundary. Okay, means ki where is my 0 lies and where is my 1 lies. Okay, so this is all about the plotting of boundaries. Next, if you want to know the parameter that we already covered in the regression part, the plot model, model name, and then pass the value as parameter. So it will give you the parameter of random forest. As I already discussed, the best parameter for random forest is number of estimators. So by default value is 100. Similarly, if you want to more explore about the plot model, just right click and just go through the manual part. Similarly, feature importance 6.1. So that is the visualization of the important features. As you see, data is about the is of diabetes data set. Okay, so just see here, plasma glucose concentration, a 2R in a oral glucose tolerance test, यानी कि glucose का concentration level. Obvious बात है, जिसका glucose ज़्यादा होगा उसको diabetes, more chances है diabetes होंगे. So just see here, these are the variable importance, and we can say that 2 parameters. Number 1, glucose body में ज़्यादा है, and next is body mass. ठीक है, BMI. So BMI ज़्यादा है. So these are the 2 important factors or we can say 3 factors, 4 factors. If somebody asks ki top 4 factors कौन से हैं, so these are the 4 factors. As age increases, it is also responsible for the diabetes part. Okay, so that's why feature importance is quite important, and explaining in a visualized form that will impact more. Now, similarly, feature importance using another model, extractive regressor. So that may give some different scores to the features. Okay, this is also same. So similarly, we can find out the feature importance using different models. But there are multiple models available. So always try to find the feature importance using your best model. जो हमने run किया था, and we are getting the model which will on the top. So always trying to find the feature importance using that particular model only. Now the 7.1, to just execute, we are tuning our decision tree. So without any optimization, I am getting the accuracy of 71%. This is very important. This is very important as it is running in the default parameters. Now let's suppose I want to know what are the parameters. So I am just calling a function plot model name and parameter, and just it will show me the parameter that is used by the decision tree. Now, next come to 7.2. I want to tune the model. So there is a function with the name tune model name, and number of iteration, and I assign to the variable decision tree. So just I'm executing this shell, so it automatically tuning the model, and it will run for number of iteration 50. And if you remember, we run our random forest model decision tree again in the regression part for 200 iterations. So in 50 iteration means ki my decision tree model will create 50 times. So every time we will tune the model parameter, we are changing the parameters, and end of the day, the best model will give me that will be considered as the best part. So now just show. So just see here, my accuracy, the average accuracy is 74%. Earlier it was 71%. So there's an increment of 3% accuracy. Okay, so that is the use of tuning part. Okay, similarly, if you want to know what are the tuned parameter, so just plot model and parameters. So these are the parameters that is final parameters for my tuned model. Similarly, you can there are some advanced topics like AutoML and deploy on the AWS Azure. So I'm requesting all of you kindly go through. Then you can able to learn multiple advanced things in machine learning like ensembling of model, stacking, bagging, blending. Okay, you want to select top 10 models. Okay, auto tune the models. So these are some things that is related to research part. Okay, and if you want to deploy in Azure or AWS, so this is a wonderful resource. So class, this is all about the classification part. So any question query for this till now? Class, yes, no? Okay, no issues. So let's move to the last part. That is clustering. That is very, very important. And now there are two notebooks for clustering. One is with result and without result. So just right click on both the notebooks, right click, open a new tab. With result, without result, open a new tab. So, okay. So जो आपकी open हो गए, just open in a collab. But give the preference to the with result वाली notebook को. Okay, so this is a notebook with results. So first, copy to drive. Now it is copied to my drive. Now again, the best part for the collab is sharing. So let's suppose I want to share with another person. Just share, give his or her email ID. Let's suppose I give to my friend and what permission I want to give them. That can be a commentator only, or that can be a viewer also only, or they can also edit. So just give the permission. So by doing this way, you can easily share your notebook with other persons. Okay. So class, this is the last part, and this is the wonderful thing that you need to learn about clustering part. So I hope everybody know clustering kya hota hai. That is the unsupervised learning. Means in layman term, if we don't have the label data. Okay, label wala jo column hai, that will be absent. That consists of only features. Okay, so now let's move forward. Come to execute step number A. एक काम करिए, just go to इसको execute होने दो, just install होने दो. Otherwise क्या करना है, go to run and run all. So our notebook will run execute again. So I updated this notebook a 2 week back. So that's why we are getting the version is 3.0.2. Okay, now it is done. Just executing step number B. So version is 3.2.3. So just within a 2 week, they a new version with minor modification is released. Chali. So now class, the part number 1. So there are multiple algorithms in clustering. One of the well-known is k-mean clustering. Okay, so that is a very simplest and easiest clustering technique. So we are working with that particular algorithm. So just execute step number 1.1. That will show the data set that is available with the PyCart. Next 1.2. So for this experiment, we are working with the jewelry data set. And jewelry data set is available at sequence number 30. Serial number 30 is there, jewelry. Multivariate, it is for clustering part. So target column is done. As I already mentioned, just see, all the clustering algorithm don't have the target column because it is unlabeled data. Similarly, that consists of 505 rows and 4 columns are there. So that is a brief description about the data set. So if I am just executing, so this is the first five records of the data set or jewelry data set that consists of only 4 columns: age, income, spending score, and saving. So these are the only 4 points. Now next, no need to download. And now 4.1 is quite important. Let's suppose you want to set the parameters. जैसा हमने अपने regression and clustering में किया था. Similarly, we want to make it deep learning. We cannot implement deep learning for PyCart, but in the coming versions, maybe in the 6 month or maybe in the 1 year, we can compare multiple deep learning models. So right now, PyCart team is working on that. Just give your data, and in the backend, all the deep learning models will compare. But right now, till now, it is available only for machine learning. But in the near future, it may be built for the deep learning, because for the deep learning, it required a lot of resources are there. So that's why they are looking for some subscription-based plan maybe there. So now just execute 1.4. Just see here. We are calling a setup function, and that required only one parameter, data set. That's it. It doesn't require any more parameter. Okay, because target column nahi hai, to label batane ki zarurat nahi hai. Otherwise, we need to mention the label in the supervised learning. Okay, so now this class setup function is called. 1.5. This is quite important. Okay. So now class, we are building my k-mean clustering algorithm. So for this, there is a method with the name create_model. Number 2, there are key terms with the name as k-mean, just pass k-mean and run it for cluster number 5. Okay. Now just run. So my k-mean model is built. Okay. Now this is the important parameter. How to decide the number of clusters. Okay. इसको मैं थोड़ा I will cover in the later part. But right now I am running this code only for four clusters. Okay. Now these are the evaluation parameters similar to the root mean square error, mean absolute error, accuracy part is there, correlation is there, R square is there. These in regression, these are the three important parameters. And the most important parameter is Silothi score. Okay. So our objective is to maximize this score. Okay. Now we need to change the parameter like data की pre-processing करके इसे improve करना है, or by changing the number of cluster in that data set. So this score can be improved. Now, but till now my model is built, and now I want to use that particular model for assigning the labels. Okay, so क्या किया हमने? assign_model. This is the function, and this is the my k-mean clustering model. So that is just created in step number 1.5. So I'm just executing it. Now it is done. So now one more column is there with the name cluster and their labeling. Okay, so just see here. So some rows are tagged with cluster 0, some tagged with cluster 1, some tagged with cluster 3, some may be tagged with cluster 0, cluster 2. So because I created 4 clusters, so every data is now become labeled data. Okay, based on similar properties. Okay, so this is all about the clustering part. Now let's suppose if you want to save the result, I'm just say k-mean जो variable था मेरा to CSV, so it is stored here. If you click on the file, refresh, so this is my result. Just click on the 3 dots and download. So this automatically downloaded. Okay, so that can be easily save the results. Similarly, downloading the result using files or download, so ये automatically download हो सकता है. Next, if you want to save the result to the file, save the train model. So again, the function is save_model. This is my train model and this is the file name. So if you execute 2.1, a new file will created with the name k-mean clustering model file.pkl. So pkl is the pickle file. Okay, so that is created and that is saved. You can easily download it. So this is the same thing that we repeated in the classification and clustering part also. So regression and clustering classification, we can save our model to file. So 2.2, download the model. So there command, this is the command, but you can also download by clicking on 3 dots, download. So it will download to your local machine. Similarly, a model download ho gaya, then you need to upload. So load function is there. It will load it this particular model to your RAM. And it is done. Okay. Now the best part for the clustering algorithm is that the model is there. Now I want to label to the unknown data. Class, this is the important thing. Okay, in classification, regression, clustering, we need to build a model and save the model. And saving is important. Whenever a new data will come, so you can classify or you can cluster them according to their property. Okay, so let's suppose I have an unknown data. Currently, I don't have the data set. So what I did here, I just selected 10 rows from the jewelry itself. Okay, so data set is there and that is assigned to the new data. And 3.2, make the prediction on the new data set. There is a function with the name predict model. The very first parameter is the model name that we created in step number in the earlier step. And for the new data, just assign the variable name data equal to new data and just execute. So now for the new data set, a new column is created and that will label ki particular row go to which cluster. Okay, because we need to check the model, to check the new data. Model बना लिया, उसका कोई use नहीं है. Okay, but that will be useful when a new data will come. So that model will help us to label the new data set. Okay, now take another example. Let's suppose you created a cluster of 50 students. So there is a class that consists of 50 students are there. So you created 4 clusters based on some properties like CGPA कितना है, 10th के marks कितने हैं, 12th के कितने marks हैं, programming में कितने marks हैं. So multiple things are there. So I created a model. A new student will come. I give to the model. Model will automatically cluster करेगा उसको कि किस cluster में उसको जाना चाहिए. Are you getting? Similarly, let's suppose you make a cluster of multiple drugs. If you're working in pharma company and you cluster, let's suppose 500 drugs are there, and you cluster based on their physicochemical properties. Okay. Now, so let's suppose 5 clusters are there. A new drug molecule will come, then this clustering algorithm will let me know कि हाँ इसको किस cluster में जाना चाहिए, इसकी property किसके ज़्यादा पास में है. Are you getting? Yes, no? Class?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Now, if you want to save the result, so already saved is है, यहाँ पे result है अपना, उसको right click करके download भी कर सकते हैं. Now, class, the most important part for clustering, visualization. ये बहुत important चीज है. तो इसको मेरे साथ execute करिएगा. So just click on 4.1, इसको execute करिए. Just execute 4.1. Yes, it is done. So class, there are different evaluation parameters. Number 1, pipeline. So how exactly pipeline works means how exactly the visualization is done. The raw data is there, simple imputer is there, then apply k-mean algorithm is there. Now just click on TSNE. Just click on this second part. So now this is the visualization of the clusters. Okay, so I created 4 clusters. So that's why these are the 4 points separated with blue color, orange color, okay, purple color and green color. Just see here, these green colors are just visualizing near to the purple color because it is a 2D plot, but it is come with this point. Are you getting? So ये अभी थोड़ा सा हम explain करेंगे 2D plot में. Now just come to 3D point. Cluster TSNE 3D. Just click and it will draw a wonderful graph. थोड़ा सा right में से इसको नीचे ले आए. This is a wonderful graph and that is available in 3D. Yes. Now just drag and visualize the things. So just see here class, whenever we are visualizing the green part or 2D plot, we cannot visualize ki data point near वो किसके है. Okay, now just इसको थोड़ा सा left right move करिए. So you will see every point, every part, every data point is you can visualize in 3D. Yes, orange part is separately, blue part is separated, purple part is separated, and even green part is also different separated is there. Class, I hope you enjoy this graph. Okay, now again, थोड़ा सा ऊपर आइए, elbow plot. Just click on elbow plot. So elbow plot is one of the important plot that help us to find out कि optimum number of clusters कितने रखने चाहिए अपने को. तो elbow जैसे अपनी elbow है, so that is इसके नाम पे ये elbow पड़ा हुआ है. Just see here. So elbow is giving me 3. So 3 must be the optimum number of parameters, optimum number of clusters for this data set. इसको भी verify करेंगे थोड़ी देर में. Okay. If somebody asks कि how to know the number of clusters, optimum number of clusters, so you should know कि elbow plot is there. Okay, and you clearly see 3 number of cluster is the optimum. इसको we will cover in the later part. Next, slothy score, slothy plot. So class, we created 4 clusters. So for every cluster, slothy score is calculated, and you see the score that having the minimum value, that will be considered as the slothy score for the complete cluster. Okay, so 4 clusters are there: 1 cluster, 2 cluster, 3 cluster, 4 clusters, and the minimum part will be considered as the performance slothy score of the complete cluster part. Next is distance plot. So just see, this is cluster number 0, 1, and 2 is very, very small because that consists of low number of data points, and this is all about the third cluster. Similarly, distribution plot. So class, just visualize, just thing is that in a single window, you are able to visualize the different plots. Okay, so now just see here, number of cluster means distribution. So cluster 0 consists of 156 data points. Cluster 1 consists of 47 points. Cluster 2 consists of 72 count, and data points in cluster 3, the count is 130. So these are the visualization things, and these are the important parameters that you can present in your work. Okay. So now let's plot individual plot. Okay. So that's individual. जो हमने यहाँ पे भी ये जो हमने we call the function with the name evaluate model. It merge all the evaluation graph in a single window. Okay. But let's suppose we want to plot individually. तो क्या करना है? So just come to 4.2. Just execute. So plot model is there. That is the model name, and the parameter is cluster. So just see, there are 4 clusters, and 4 clusters are just presented in 2D form. So that is a default visualization of the cluster. Next, if you want to plot a 3D, so just execute 4.3, pass plot equal to TSN. So this is a wonderful 3D plot is there. Just select, browse, and move up and down. You can also zoom in, zoom out. Okay, so this is the way you can visualize how the data points are clustered. Okay, now let's move forward. Elbow plot. So let's suppose you explicitly want to plot the elbow plot. So for this, plot model, your train model, and pass the parameter plot equal to elbow. Okay, so that will be the elbow. Similarly, slothy score, just pass plot equal to slothy. It will show you the slothy plot. Similarly, distribution is there, and for distance, the plot equal to distance parameter is there. Just execute karo, and you will get the distribution plot. So class, all these parameters, all these visualization of cluster are important, and you can use in your report, presentation, and as well as in your research papers. So this is all about the visualization part. But as I also mentioned, pre-processing play a very important role, even in the clustering also. So let's explore that. So now class, I am just running the code for cluster 3. Okay. This is the same thing. Clustering, we importing some variable. This is live. This is for jewelry part, and number of clusters are 3. So just run it. So I'm running for 3 clusters because elbow plots show me the best number of clusters must be 3. So let's validate that hypothesis. So now just record the slothy score 0.739. Okay, 0.739. Now run it again for cluster 4. So just see slothy score may be somewhat lower. Earlier it was 7.3, now 7.2 ho gaya hai. Now rerun the code again for cluster 5. Again you will find the slothy score is much lower. So that's why this is also validate the elbow plot is showing the best number of clusters. Okay. The objective is कि जो अपने को maximum slothy score देगा, that will be considered as the best number of clusters. चलिए. So class, these are the other clustering algorithms. So for k-mean is there. Affinity propagation, so you need to pass AP. Mean shift, the mean shift. If you want to hierarchical clustering or known as agglomerative clustering is there, then H cluster is there. DB scan, density base. This is also one of the important algorithm. So DB scan is there. So optic clustering is there. So similarly, you can create multiple models. Okay, multiple clustering algorithm models. Now the best and सबसे important part है pre-processing. Okay, pre-processing play a very important role. So let's run 6. So we read the data again. Now elbow plot. So now it is same way, normalize equal to true, normalize method equal to z-score. And we are building a model k-mean and finding the elbow plot. So just run it and just see here. We are not providing the number of clusters here. Okay. So just see here, it automatically pass number of cluster 5. Plus, this is very important. Before normalization or without normalization or without any pre-processing part, the number of cluster are 3. But when we analyze the things using normalization, so the number of cluster, optimum number of cluster is 5. Okay, so this is an important thing because as the number of cluster are large, so we can easily magnify what are the properties or what are the common properties for that clusters. Okay, I hope everybody is understanding till now. Yes, no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Perfect. Similarly, let's suppose run it for cluster number 3. So you will find slothy score is 0.69. Run it for cluster number 4. 0.75. And run it for cluster number 5. So you will get the highest number of slothy score, that is 0.80. So that validate when we are running for cluster 5 using normalization. Okay, so it show me the highest slothy score. Similarly, when we are plotting the elbow plot using normalization, it shows me the best number of cluster must be 5. तो ये automatically validate हो गया है. Thing is that whenever we are working with this finding the clusters, so slothy score, elbow plot show me the correct number of clusters. But if you apply pre-processing, then you may get the different results. Okay. Now thing is that let me give you the very brief idea about more clustering part. As I am showing you this part, plus just let me explain this graph. I hope it is visible to all of you. So we are trying different clustering algorithms on different evaluation parameters with different pre-processing techniques with different number of clusters. So class, just I'm making a too complex here because my objective is that सिलॉथी स्कोर मैक्सिमम कितने नंबर ऑफ क्लस्टर्स पे आ रहा है, किस प्री प्रोसेसिंग टेक्निक के साथ आ रहा है एंड किस क्लस्टरिंग एल्गोरिथम के साथ आ रहा है, वो आइडेंटिफाई करना. आर यू गेटिंग? सो दैट इज अ वेरी comprehensive and a single window analysis of all the algorithms of different pre-processing techniques with different number of clusters. This thing is not available with the single run में ऐसा नहीं होता है. Okay, we need to manually calculate all these parameters, but in the coming versions, so we may see such type of comparison आ जाएगा. Otherwise, you can also create your own program, okay, and where you will get the complete comparison of all the algorithms. Okay, so now let's move. So we compare with the 5. Now this is the important. This is very, very important. 1.6.1. Sorry, 5. Let's plot the 3D plot with cluster number 5 with normalization. Class, this is very important. So just execute 6.1.5. ठीक है. After applying the pre-processing part, normalization लगाने के बाद भाई ऐसा क्या हो गया कि number of clusters बढ़ गए हैं. Now just see here. This is all about the 3D plot, and just see after normalization, my number of clusters are become too close, and all the data points are segregated in multiple clusters. Okay. Otherwise, when we are dealing with the without pre-processing, so some data points are overlapping also. But just see here how much refined cluster are they created here. Okay, class? Yes, no?
Yes,
Correct.
sir.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. Now move forward. Similarly, you can use transformation, find out which operation giving me the highest Silothy score. 6.2 is for transformation. Just move forward. Similarly, PCA. So these are the pre-processing technique. Now, if I want to apply two operations, transformation be, normalization be, then everybody knows how to apply that particular operation. Okay, and again for cluster 3, for cluster 4, and for cluster 5, उसको हमने just show किया है. And again, if you want to for transformation, normalization, PCA, 3 operations are there, then you can easily visualize. So this is all about the running the clustering algorithm with different pre-processing techniques. Just come to step number 7. So I already discussed that these are the different clustering algorithms, and I already show you the comparison result. This is the result that you need to create when you are dealing with the unlabeled data. Okay. So let's suppose you want to apply hierarchical clustering. So just change the name as hclust. Okay. So you will get the result according to hierarchical clustering. But end of the day, you need to summarize all the result in this similar fashion only. Okay. Now, so we are building the hierarchical clustering. So similarly, we are assigning the labels to the data set. So this is all about the evaluation part. I am not executing this code. And again, if you want to apply different different clustering algorithm, then this is a DB scan. And whenever, this is the important thing. Plus, we are running DB scan and we are getting slossy score 0. It cannot be 0. Okay, so now I am using that particular model, DB scan, जो मैंने यहाँ पे create किया है, the model that I created using DB scan algorithm. So now I am using that particular model to assign the labels, assign the data set. So you will see -1, -1, -1, -1 is there. So if you are getting -1, means that particular algorithm will not work for my data set. That particular algorithm will not able to label the data sets. Okay, so this is all about the DB scan. If you got cluster -1, then this is not this algorithm will not work for my data set. Similarly, if you want to deploy on AWS, then you can go through the refer to the this particular manual. So that clearly explain. One more important thing is that when right now data set is quite important, quite small. So these clustering algorithms will work fast. But as you increase the data, let's suppose 2,000 data is there, 5,000 data, 10,000 data, then there may be a possibility then a few algorithms may not work. Okay, so this is an important thing. So always whenever you get a huge data, let's suppose 10 lakh data is there, so don't put the complete data on this algorithm. So algorithm will crash. Okay, so in that case, just take some sampling. So there are different sampling techniques are there. So just take some sample and then उसपे cluster करो आप. Or you can create multiple samples of 10 lakh data and then apply the clustering algorithm individually. Okay. So these are the things that you need to take care in your mind when you're dealing with the huge amount of data. Class, yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is all about the clustering part. So if you have any question, query, you may ask.
Is it possible to once deploy, sir?
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible to deploy?
Right now it is not possible, but you can easily, it is a small process. It required to take some tokens from the AWS for free tokens. Then it is an easy way. Just drop and pick up and drop.
Okay.
Okay. It's hardly take 1 hour. Okay, because they approve some your credentials, then they can issue a token to you, and they also give some credits. So it is a simple one. It's a simple process.
So there is any tutorial for that?
I provided a link in the end. No?
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, this one.
Yes, correct. Thank you.
Rana sir, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Sir, thank you very much for the nice lecture. Will the data links available on psrana.com will be available after this session also?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Data set and everything. Okay. Okay.
Yes,
thank you.
It is available there, sir.
Very informative website it is.
Sir, any other question, query, sir? Okay.
Thank you, sir.
So thank you. Thank you. So thank you very much for the listening. Chaliye, for the time being, let's. Yes.
We have a validatory session.
So
We will start in 5 minutes, sir, after this.
okay, no issues, no issues.
Yes, sir.
And for the time being, let's validity starts. So I want to share one important resource with you, projects. So there's a link with the name mini and major projects. If you click on this link, mini and major projects. So it will again redirect to my GitHub page. So there are multiple mini projects are there. Now mini projects I am saying to those projects that have the code. Okay, if you just click on these two links, right click, open a new tab, open a new tab. So that is the repository of Krish Nayak. He's a wonderful data scientist and having it's having a YouTube channel also. So if you go to repository, there are multiple projects are there, and you see notebook, Jupyter notebook is available. So the best part for this tutorial is that whenever you are dealing with this mini projects, so data set is available, notebook is available, then you can practice. So you can guide your students to take care from this this websites, and there are multiple projects are there. Let's suppose text summarization is project is there. Okay, and chicken disease classification. Okay, cotton disease prediction, student performance, flight prediction prizes. So there are a lot of projects are there. So if students start working on this, or you can also start working on these projects, then these are the small projects that help you to add knowledge in your knowledge base. Similarly, the second link that consists of 500 AI ML projects. So there is a repository prepared by Patel Saab. So it consists of 500, more than 500 links. This is a wonderful repository where you can find multiple projects are there. Chatbot project is there, supervised learning, deep learning, COVID, multiple projects are there. Computer vision projects are there. Okay, deep learning projects are there. So these are the important resources for the students. Okay, so just give the assignment to the student कि हाँ 1 week में आपको 5 projects करके लानी है on computer vision. So they can do that. Okay. Now next part for major projects. So major projects are those projects that having the problem statements only. Okay. So there are 4 or 5 links are there. So let's suppose ISRO problem is there. Just click on the link. It will redirect you to my Google Drive. So problem statement, ISRO problem statement 2022. And similarly, they will release the problem statement very soon for 2023. If you open this PDF, so there is a department in ISRO that is known as Respond and AI. So they release the problem statement annually. Okay, and here these are the different centers. कौन से centers हैं and कहाँ पे क्या problems हैं. Okay, so let's suppose these are the problem statements. क्या करने का है? Just Control F. Let's search for image. Okay, so there you will find 76 terms, that is image is searched with 76 times. So let's suppose you click on this link, page number 57. Now that is a very brief summary of the problem statement. The very first, what is a center where this problem is located, this problem is arise, what is the title of the project proposal. So data driven approach for dehazing high resolution multispectral remote sensing data. So if any one of you working with the spectral images, space images, then this is the project for you. These are the 2 PIs along with their email ID are also provided. So let's suppose you develop something and you want to collaborate, so you can easily drop this drop the mail to these people. So these are the area, and this is a brief summary of the project proposal. This is the scope of the work, and these are the deliverables. Okay, so similarly you can find multiple projects from the ISRO also, and again if you come back,
it can be research topic.
Yes, that can be a potential research topic. Yes. Similarly, army design problems are also there. Similarly, cyber security problems are also there. And if you come back to Kavach is also one of the cyber security hackathon that is recently going on. Okay, and if you go to the problem statement, click here. So this is a Kavach. So these are the list of problems, and that's that these problems are also explained in the form of small, quick videos. Okay, so these are the resources. So you can guide your students, motivate your students, and also you can start working on these projects also.